back to my Country Craft Corner and Arlen's Travels. How in the world are you guys doing today? It is so good to see you again, and thank you so much for stopping back by to see what I'm up to. And what I'm up to today is, as you can see, I am still on the Caribbean Princess. Not sure when you will be seeing this. I'm not making these in real time, you guys. I very well could be close to home by the time you see this, but I want to try to bring you through our itinerary as we went through it a little bit. And it has been an interesting trip this time. I have to tell you, this has been, I will say this is our 13th Alaska cruise, and it was the rainiest, stormiest Alaska cruise that we've ever experienced. And we've done a couple of other September cruises too. This wasn't necessarily the norm. Yeah, sure, Septembers can be wet. They can be stormy. They tend to be wetter than other times of the year, but we haven't really found that to be the case. For instance, we did a back-to-back in September a couple of years ago. The very first week was cloudy, not really rainy too much, but it was cloudy. And then the very next week on our back-to-back, it was absolutely gorgeous. But you never know what's going to happen when you're cruising in Alaska, so you just have to go with it. Thankfully, this is our first time on the Caribbean Princess, and we are again, of course, as you know, cruising with our friends Barb and Dawn, which makes everything better, you know. So let me think, where did I stop on the last video? Was right after Jaylene's Alaska, right after our whale watching. The next day we were in Icy Strait Point, Alaska, and we didn't have any excursions planned, and we're pretty happy that we didn't, because it was raining cats and dogs there. Just poured all day long. I will say that Barb and Chris did get off, and they walked to a little donut shack over there, and they got us some donuts, and they're just little like donut holes, and they're very good. Or little donuts, not donut holes, but they're little donuts. They have tons of flavors. I think Barb sent me a picture of all the flavors I'll put here, and they were delicious. I have to say, the little donuts were delicious. Meanwhile, I was here on the ship doing my other video about Jaylene's Alaska, because I wanted to do it when it was pretty fresh in my mind. And that outfit of the day and this outfit of the day, I wanted to kind of talk about at the same time, only because of these vests. In this video, in this picture, you'll see me, this is what I was wearing in that other video, and I don't believe I did an outfit of the day for what I had on in that video. And what it was just one of my black ruffled tops like this, only this is navy blue. And I had a pair of black Amazon Essentials jeggings on, the knit jeggings. That's what I had on with that. And then black Fever Soul shoes. Today I'm wearing, so that was that outfit. Probably pretty much the same jewelry. I can't remember what the jewelry was, to be honest. But it was probably this black necklace and a pair of maybe silver earrings, but I can't remember what exactly I had. Maybe I wore my butterfly necklace. I can't remember what I did. You see it in the picture. But then today I'm wearing a similar vest, only with red pants that I got from Avenue many years ago before I started losing my weight. And I never could get into them, and got into them last May for the first time. And brought them here on this cruise as well to Alaska. Navy blue ruffled shoulder top, and then this vest. This vest I got from Temu, but I have not ordered from Temu in over a year, you guys. So I was looking for something similar to this and found that brown vest on Amazon. So I will put a link, and I do believe they had this vest. I don't know whether they will by the time you see the link. I'm hoping they will, but I will add the link to my Amazon shop. So I'll be looking for that Amazon shop for my cruise, for my Alaska and California coastal cruise to go up soon. Jewelry, I wear my red Fever Soul shoes, my black necklace, and these big earrings again. So, and then the bracelets and everything are the same. Watch and rings are all the same. So anyway, the day of Icy Strait, I was wearing the brown outfit, which brown and black outfit. So that was about it for our day at Icy Strait, honestly. I really didn't do anything but record that video, and then I did edit it. And I think I scheduled it to go up that day too. I did a lot that day because we were in Icy Strait and had service. I had really good service. Now I get internet service on the ship all the time, but it is really slow going when I go to upload my videos, you know, so I try to wait till I'm in port to upload the videos because it just goes so much. It takes 8 to 10 hours to upload a 30-minute video or even a 20-minute video. It can take up to 7.5, 8 hours. So I tried to upload my videos when we're in port so that I could go on my my own, and use my hotspot and do it that way off of my own cell service. So anyway, that evening we went to dinner, and I didn't take pictures of what I took. I did take a picture of the menu though. So it's the Princess Dinner menu, and let me see, what did I have that evening? Let me look at the mains. Oh, I know, I had fish and chips. It says beer battered Alaskan cod, fish, and chips. That's what I had, but I forgot to take a picture of it, so go me. But I had that, and then I had, I think, ice cream for dessert, and I had a salad for my appetizer. So that was Icy Strait Day. And of course, they had all kinds of activities. I don't have that particular princess patter, but I have not shown you a princess patter in this video or in this series yet. So when you first get on the ship, you will get a princess patter. This is what the princess patter is. And it will tell you what day it is of your cruise, where you are, whether it is what kind of dress to impress or formal or smart casual, and where you'll be the next day. So that's what it tells you here, princess patter, you can see. And then it gives you all kinds of the activities that are going to be going on board. It gives you it will give you all aboard time, and if you're in port for the day, and all kinds of things they've got going on around the ship. On all of the patterns on the back, you'll be able to see all of your restaurants and what time they open and what time they close, and your bars and everything else. So it is very informative. A lot of people bring a highlighter, and they, the evening before they go through the patter, and they highlight the things that they might like to do on board. And so be looking for this if you cruise with Princess. This is the Princess patter. I love it. So very informative. So I wanted to tell you about that. So anyway, that evening, I don't remember what we did. We played cards, probably, because we've been playing a lot of cards because we've had a lot of extra time on this cruise because the weather was so bad, I forgot to tell you about my outfit of the day, and the brown outfit was for our second day in Juneau. I think I told you we had to stay in Juneau. Yes, I told you that in the other video. We overnighted in Juneau and missed Skagway. So the brown and black outfit was my outfit for that day. The next day was Icy Strait, so this was my outfit for Icy Strait Day. I'm in a pair of black jeggings and those same Amazon Essential jeggings and black turtleneck and that mint colored vest. I love that. That is so cute. I got that on the Coral Princess back in May. So I brought it on this ship too. I can't remember if it has Alaska on no, I don't think it does. I think this wasn't one of their Alaska pieces of clothing. This was just a Princess Cruises piece of clothing, and it doesn't have any kind of any kind of label or anything on it. I do have on a necklace from Brighton and earrings from Brighton and my black Fever Sole shoes. So in Sitka, well, that was at Icy Strait. So that was the day that they went and got the donuts and everything. And we did play cards again that day. And we did take some time to take some selfies because we had not, other than in Glacier Bay, but we really hadn't taken that many selfies. Y'all know us. We're usually taking selfies every day, but we hadn't. So we got together up in Skywalkers, which is the bar. This was in the morning, but this is the bar that's at the top of the ship, and you see the kind of the flyover piece of ship that goes over the aft. That is Skywalkers. That is a bar up there, and a lot of people go up there and read and talk and whatever during the day when it's quiet up there, and it's a beautiful view off of the aft. So, but this is us there that day, and we were huddled together there getting a little bit of a selfie. And there's some pictures of Skywalkers too. It's really neat. So that was that day. As I said, I was busily about here on the ship. So the next day we were in Sitka, and guess what? It rained and rained and rained, and when none of us got off of the ship, it rained cats and dogs that day. I mean, poured almost all day in Sitka. We'd been there before. We'd been to Icy Strait before. We'd been to Sitka before. So we didn't feel like we were missing out on a ton, but we just were not, not that we haven't in Alaska gone out, put our rain jackets on, and Chris and Barb did the day before, and I have certainly done it before, so has Dawn. Gone out, got wet. Usually the weather does not dictate whether we stay on or off the ship. In Sitka, it kind of said, we kind of all just went, nah, we're not going to get off in this. It was just ridiculous, So, but this was my outfit of the day that day. And this is just, again, black jean jeggings, a red ruffled top, a black, one of the black vests from Amazon, or was that? Yes, from Amazon. And a scarf from Amazon too. It was cold. It was very chilly around the ship. So I wore a little scarf that day, and we just hung out. We got a gift from Prince from the ship. There was a little trouble with our toilet one day. So, which is not unusual on a cruise ship. Some people on these ships, you're not supposed to put anything but the toilet paper that they provide down the chute, so to speak, trying to be prim and proper when talking about this. But somebody somewhere had put something down there that they shouldn't have, and it blocked up this whole deck and other decks too. So they gave us a lovely water bottle, which has all the crests of all the princess ships on it, which was pretty cool, and then a coffee mug. So we said, sure, well, thank you so much, And here are a few pictures of Sitka from our balcony. That's as far as we got into Sitka. But, we went to dinner that night, and we've gone to dinner every night in the dining room. And it looks like I had, what did I have this night? Chris had salmon, and I don't know what I had. Here's my Parmesan crusted turkey breast. That was delicious for dinner that evening. And I think I had a salad for my appetizer. And as we were leaving port, the captain had come on and said, if you are prone to seasickness, he said this a couple of times during this cruise, you might want to go ahead and pop a couple of pills, because in order to get to Glacier Bay, we kind of had to skirt back out into the Gulf of Alaska or whatever it is there. And these were the seas. I mean, this is the swimming pool, and you can see how the seas are kind of rocking and rolling there. So I've got another picture of the pool too later. Well, here we go. Here is the picture of the pool. You can always know how bad the seas are if you look at the pool water and how it's moving around or moving from one end to the other or side to side. So anyway, all that. So Icy Strait and Sitka were rainy days. The next day was Glacier Bay. And as you all know, Glacier Bay is my happiest of happy places. Yes, it is, on this planet. And when we first started to pull into Glacier Bay, it was raining and it was cloudy. And I was like, oh man, are you kidding me? It's going to wash out Glacier Bay Day. And of course you still go into Glacier Bay regardless of the weather. But I thought, oh my goodness, please let it clear up a little bit. And it did. Now, I wouldn't say it was sunny. It wasn't bright and sunny. It was cloudy, but that just makes the glaciers that much prettier. And so we started into the bay, and we started looking for, we were looking for otters, and they didn't show up. We saw one otter in the morning, but we see them in the afternoon. So I have some to share with you. So I don't know, they must have been sleeping in the rain somewhere, because they were not out and about in the morning that morning. And that's okay, but I was like, where's the otters? Where did they go? And it was raining, and I was like, oh, please let it get prettier. So anyway, the park rangers come on board. Let me tell you a little bit about Glacier Bay. Glacier Bay is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is a national park, Glacier Bay National Park. and it is stunning and untouched and absolutely gorgeous. And I really honestly don't care what the weather is. It is still stunning and gorgeous, you guys. And it was stunning and gorgeous, and I will show you pictures as we go here. But park rangers are brought on board on Glacier Bay Day, and they offer many activities. They do talks in the Princess Theater. They set up their wares and skywalkers, what I was just talking about. They set up their wares, which included otter pelts and books and things. And Alaska Geographic is also up there, pairs with them and sells books and so on. So they do have a little shop until we're at the glaciers, and then they close down the shop and then open it back up. But they also do a junior ranger program for the kids on board here. And it's quite the day. The ship has their Alaska outpost, what they call, where they, put out all their coats and gloves and hats and whatever. And everything is in September is on deep sail. I haven't put it on yet, a fleece, little fleece that I wear really just to knock around it at home, honestly. And it has Alaska on it, and I paid $16 or $17 for it. It was really cheap, 60% off. And that's literally the only thing I've bought on this ship, other than that pair of earrings that I talked to you about the other day. I think I showed you those. But anyway, so here come the park rangers over from Bartlett Cove, which is where their station is over there. And they come over on this little boat and they climb aboard. I did not get them climbing on board this year. But they climb on board, and then they start their commentary. And you can, if you're on the ship, you can listen to their commentary in your stateroom. Just put your TV on the Bridge Cam channel, and throughout all of the public decks, 7 and 14 and higher, they are, and in the buffet area they are, and in the dining rooms, but they won't have the dining rooms open on that day. There's no activities that go on other than about Glacier Bay that day on the ship. So in other words, they don't have a dining room open for lunch. The only thing they have open is the buffet for lunch. Maybe the International Cafe might be open if you want a little snack or a cup of coffee, something like that. Also, they don't serve anything, and they don't give you paper napkins. They don't give you paper cups. Everything is sold in glass containers because it is pristine and it is a national park, and that's the national park rules. So you got to be really careful. These ships have to be really careful when they go into Glacier Bay. There's only 2 cruise ships allowed per day in Glacier Bay. We were the only ones that I know of, because we didn't see another one coming or going in the bay that day. It is late in the year. So, but anyway, so so a lot of, be sure to read your pattern that day and the information. And I'm going to put it here. They do give you all kinds of information about Glacier Bay and about what you can and can't do, about the history of Glacier Bay. If you want to freeze your video and take a screenshot and then read it later, I encourage you to do that, because there's all kinds of information about Glacier Bay and all about what wildlife you might see and how it all came together, and it's beautiful, and about the glaciers and so on. So do that. And they also give you the night. So we got that information the night before. We got the pattern the night before, and we got a map of Glacier Bay the night before. So I put the map up on our stateroom wall to go with the other map I have. And we did refer to it a couple of times there. We're pretty familiar with Glacier Bay. So, but we always do take a peek at it just to see where we are and what's coming up and so on. So on in we sailed. We heard the park ranger came on and said that she would start her commentary at such and such a time, and that, and they go through the day and they tell wonderful stories, you guys. And I just encourage you to listen to their stories, because they're very lovely, about the bay and the history and how they take care of it now, and all. It's very interesting commentary. So the first glacier that we came up on was Reed Glacier, and I will try to give you the statistics. I don't remember them off for the Reed Glacier off the top of my head. So I will look it up, and I'll give you the statistics about how wide it is at the face and at the terminus, so to speak, but at the face of the glacier, how far it flows from its mountain source down to the tide water. These glaciers are called tidewater glaciers. You'll see some pictures that I show you with it looks to be snow on the mountains. At this time of year, everything you see pretty much white on the mountains are glaciers, or hanging glaciers, or glaciers running through the mountain peaks and so on. There's a lot of unnamed that well, at least I've never heard them named glaciers or seen on maps or anything. So they're just, patches of ice really between mountain peaks and so on. So Reed Glacier did not disappoint. It was as beautiful as ever, and we sailed on by that one. And then the next one we came to was Lamplugh, the Blue, if you will, the Blue Glacier. They call it the Blue Glacier because look at it. You can really see that it is bluer than some of the other glaciers. It's very, very pretty. Again, did not disappoint. We love looking at Lamplugh, the Blue. And what I love most about that is you can look to your right when you're looking at Lamplugh, and you're going to be looking toward Johns Hopkins Inlet. You can't look down it quite yet, but you can see all the peaks. Especially on a sunny day, you can see the peaks behind other peaks moving. And it is the neatest sight when you look up and you see this mountain moving this way and this mountain moving this way as you're sailing along, Really a neat little feeling you get when you see that, and these big, beautiful snow-capped mountains. It's just stunning, you guys. It's just breathtaking. The air in Glacier Bay is fresh and cold, and it was cold. It was very, very cold and damp. The rain did stop. I forgot to tell you that. The rain did stop as soon as we got to Reed almost. It just pretty much stopped, and we were able to really get out on the balcony and look. And so we were wondering, Barb and I were out on the balcony, and all of a sudden we started to turn into Johns Hopkins Inlet, which you normally do not do. And May, June, July, and August, you do not go down Johns Hopkins Inlet. You do not go anywhere down it because the seals birth and nurse their pups on the calved ice. Calved meaning that it has fallen off of the face of the glacier. And you have bergy bits, which are really big, can be, I think, 7 to 13 feet long. You've got growlers, which are a little bit smaller of your icebergs, and then you have littler icebergs, and these seals get up on these icebergs, and have their pups and nurse them and train them there, so nobody, and they do that right at the face of Johns Hopkins. And usually in September, the seals are finished and they move out. And we did see some seals in the water. They're hard to catch. They're hard to catch with a picture in the water. But we did see a few, and it looked like one had a little pup with her. So, but anyway, they were obviously gone because we started to go down the inlet. And I said, oh my goodness, Barb, we're going down to see Johns Hopkins, which we did not even see in May because that captain of the Coral didn't even go close to Johns Hopkins, probably because of the seals. Didn't even go close to the inlet. He just bypassed the inlet and went straight to Marjorie Glacier, which is usually the showstopper of the day. Well, we ended up not going to Marjorie Glacier on this day in Glacier Bay, which has never happened in 13 years. 13 cruises to Alaska. But boy, oh boy, did we get a show at Johns Hopkins, you guys. It made up for it tenfold, honestly. We went within 1.5 miles of Johns Hopkins Glacier. This captain is superb here on the Caribbean Princess. He is superb. And we just had a heyday back there looking at this gorgeous glacier that we've only seen from like 6 miles away before, So the captain sat the ship with the starboard side, actually is the first, well, you could see it, both sides of the ship could see it as you went toward it. But he turned the starboard side first to look at the ship. We were on the port side. So we just kind of hung out and waited because he said he was going to, pivot the ship so that the port side could have equal viewing pleasure. So he pivoted the ship and we got some pictures as we were sailing, and hopefully I've been showing you pictures. And then here are some pictures of us, in front of Johns Hopkins. It's absolutely stunning, you guys. Absolutely stunning. And so we stayed there over an hour at Johns Hopkins when all was said and done, and had a wonderful time. So he never said, Marjorie Glacier was not on the patter either. It wasn't listed on the patter. We didn't know whether that was a typo or a forgotten piece of information, or if we really were not going to go. So when we came out of the inlet, I said, well, Barb, if we take a right, we're going back out of the bay. If we keep going straight, we're going to go to Marjorie. And Chris was looking with the binoculars and everything toward Marjorie. And he said, oh my goodness, it was cloudy and it looked like it was raining and stormy over there. We were just as happy to take that right turn and start looking at the bay, you know, from the different vantage point sailing away. Truthfully, after we got done with Johns Hopkins, we went up and had some lunch. And then we came back and just watched the rest of the bay pass by. Chris had laid down, because he's always up really, really early. He had laid down to take a nap. And I was sitting here, I don't remember what I was doing, putting pictures up or something in my Facebook group, and took a look out the door, which is here to my left, and I started to see otters. I'm like, Chris, otters, otters, otters. You know, so he jumps up. We get the big camera out, and we got some pictures of some otters. They were tons of them out there. And this picture was not real clear, but I could see a lot of them were paired up, and you could almost see them holding paws with one another. They are the cutest things ever. But look how big they are. Look at this guy up on top of that bergy bit. Look at him. Can be 5 to 6 feet long, and he looks like, or she, whatever, maybe she was pregnant or something, but she looked like she'd had a really good time eating. Looked like me. After a cruise, you know, she was like, oh boy, I'm comfortable and laying up here and just relaxing, take a little break out of the water, hauled out on that bergy bit. So I love it. I loved seeing the otters. They are one of my favorite things about Glacier Bay Day, you know, was seeing the otters. It was just an amazing, amazing, amazing day. And, you know, as I say, it just did not disappoint. My outfit for this day was a pair of black jeggings. Again, I've been wearing black mostly on this trip. Usually I wear blue jeans. This time I'm wearing black jeans, pretty much is what they are, jeggings. Black turtleneck. And then I went part of the day in a red vest when I was inside and walking around the ship. But when we were out looking at the glaciers, I threw on my blue coat that I wore, or that I got, my blue coat that I got from Princess last May. They are on sale here on this ship for $27 now, but they don't have a lot of sizes. So I'm glad I got it in May. But anyway, so those are the two. I wore my sneakers and knee socks all day long, even to dinner that night. I wore my sneaker. I think I might have changed into my red shoes for dinner. So, but yeah, that was my outfit of the day. And I've got tons of pictures that I hopefully have been showing you of, you know, the selfies and all of us enjoying Glacier Bay. I mean, it was absolutely stunning, a stunning day of wonder, and it just evoked such good memories for me. And I just yearn to go back there every time, you guys. I yearn to go back there. It gives me a sense of calm that I don't get many other places, you know, and you know, we've really been through it in the last, couple of years here, you guys, Chris and I have. And it's just, you know, not that everybody else hasn't been through it too, because everybody has their problems and everybody has, you know, their burdens to carry for sure. But, you know, I am always so happy to see Glacier Bay and to have that feeling of just sheer peace and quiet and serenity in that place. It is a very, very, very special place. As you all know, we will not come on an Alaska cruise without Glacier Bay being on the itinerary. And if I have to choose between scenic cruising days, I will never choose. And if I have to choose one, it will always be Glacier Bay over anything. So anyway, so that was our day in Glacier Bay, and I've talked about 30 minutes now, so I don't want to keep you guys much longer than that. We had a sea day. Oh, let's see, what was that? Yeah, we had a sea day right after Glacier Bay Day, and I didn't do anything special but record my stateroom tour. I recorded that, and this is my outfit for that day. And I know I am talking about many days in this video, but you guys, it has been a different Alaska cruise, you know, than we've done in a long time. This one I have black jeggings on. Again, I have a corduroy vest on that I got from Shein. That's where I got that vest. And then another of these little ruffled shirts at a buffalo check. And then that evening was a dress to impress evening. And I kind of get the feeling that dress to impress is a little bit less dressy than a formal night is. So on this cruise, which is a 10-day cruise, we had a formal night and a dress to impress night. And this is what I wore on the dress to impress night. I wore a black maxi skirt, black sleeveless ribbed turtleneck. Oh my goodness, that is the most comfortable, other than the turtleneck was really aggressive turtleneck, if you will. In fact, I had to wear these earrings because if I put in shorter earrings, it kind of made them stick out because that turtleneck went right up to my ears almost. But it is stunning. It's, I mean, to wear, really comfortable to wear. And the cardigan, the red cardigan, has glittery sleeves. And no, they don't itch. But I did not want to see like a black turtleneck or a blue or anything. You know, I didn't want to see anything but my arms through that's why I bought the sleeveless turtleneck. I wore my red Fever Shoal shoes. The cardigan was available on Amazon, and I will put links for that in my Amazon shop too. But here I am with Chris. Chris wore the same thing he wore on formal night, and he'll probably wear that same outfit. You'll see him in that outfit a couple more times. Probably, because that's all the formal wear he bought with him, and that's okay, you know. Land and Sea is what they was one of the choices, and we all picked it, which was a tenderloin steak and lobster last night for dinner. And then we took some time and did some selfies, and here they are. We're having a blast, you guys. Just such sweet people that are Barb and Dawn. And that gets us all caught up to this moment in time. This outfit, as I said, I told you about, is just, we're going to be pulling into Victoria this afternoon. And so my next video will probably, we're not planning on getting off. We've been here before too. And for those of you who have been with me a while, you'll know why, you know, Chris and I used to get off in Victoria all the time to go and visit our friend Liz, who passed away of ALS. And she is the one that originally encouraged me to start my YouTube channel 9 years ago. I've been on YouTube, it'll be 9 years in October of this year, you guys. And she is the one that encouraged me to start my BLOG blog first, Arlen's Country Craft Corner, which is definitely, then she said, you have such a, the way she put it, you have a sweet voice and you can explain things so well. And she said, I think that you should start a YouTube channel for your crafting and decorating. So, and then I started my travels channel not too long after that. So it's, haven't been on my travels channel quite as long, but anyway, we will be stopping in Victoria this evening. We're only going to be there from 4 to 11, I think. And then tomorrow is turnaround day. So then my next video will be describing turnaround day and probably the first couple of days for that cruise. I'm not sure how many more I will bring you from here on the ship, you guys. Maybe one, maybe two, I'm not sure. But they might just be me chattering along because we don't have, I think that cruise we're going to San Francisco and then Catalina Island and then San Diego, and the rest are sea days. So it's a very laid back, relaxed cruise. We're not planning on, we don't have any excursions planned again. Pretty much cruising just to get closer, you know, so we don't have to fly home from Vancouver. We were flying home from LAX. So, you know, but then it's time to get home and get started getting ready for my cousins to come and visit in October. So anyway, I'm going to shut this one down for now and say thank you guys again for coming on here and giving of your time to me. I appreciate that, watching me. Please do subscribe to both channels or to one or the other if you're not subscribed to one or the other, Arlen's Country Craft Corner or Arlen's Travels. And, you know, share it with your friends and families and coworkers and click the like. Please click the like. It's free. It's all free to do. And leave me a comment if you would, to let me know that you're watching, if you feel comfortable doing it. I know a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that. But anyway, let me go into my final words and say, again, thank you guys so much for stopping in here. For those of you who might be struggling or suffering with a catastrophic illness, chronic pain, or have suffered a great loss, I hope that you have someone there with you, taking care of you, helping you get through each day, making the very, very best out of each day. I hope there's nothing weighing on your minds or your hearts, pulling your attention away from where you want it to be or from where it should be. I love y'all to bits, to bits, to bits. Hugs all around, and I keep you in my thoughts and my prayers every single day. And with all of that said, I'll just say, until next time, y'all take good care. Bye-bye.